I'm just a little songbird, try to fly my way homeward with the melody, and I make the beat. Don't know where it'll take me, cause when I'm in the dark of night, I sing my way back to the light. Come along with me and your heart will see that a song changes everything. And the music is moving me forward, on to brighter things, on to bigger dreams. Let the harmony carry me, even if the sky's falling down. I know the sound will lead me out. Come along with me and I know you'll see that a song changes everything. Oh,
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Arts for the Health of It. I'm Catherine Particini.
And I'm Andrea Vocap Sanderson.
It's good to see you.
It is really good to see you too.
We have blended backgrounds, but we are not in the same place. I don't know if people know that, but
like we're sitting side by side.
Exactly. Okay, let's see. We have a special guest today. This is our Hearts Need Art episode where we're going to share all the good things going on in the healthcare communities that we serve. But before we do that, Vocab, do you want to share how are things going at Mosaics with your workshop?
Sure. So Mosaics has been really, really wonderful. I think we are down to our core group of kids now. I think we have 8, maybe 10 kids, and they're creating ekphrastic poetry, which means they are responding to other art forms. So they're either responding to spoken word, hip hop music, paintings. We showed them this painting about the fall of Icarus. We showed them some local artists. Unfortunately, recently we lost the amazing muralist and artist that did the, I think, Santa Rosa Angel.
Yes.
And losing Jesse was just that rocked our community. And so we were sharing some of his work and having the young people respond to that. And they've been creating some great stuff. And maybe I can bring some stuff by to show us, get some pictures together to show you all.
Yes, please.
For the end of next month, I should have some good stuff, some juicy stuff to share with y'all.
That would be great. What else is going on? You've been busy. You've been teaching and singing and writing. Do you want to tell listeners what's on the horizon?
The new theme song will roll out for season 3 for Hearts Need Art. I got in the studio with Eddie Versatile Keys of Keys to the Soul Production, and we cooked up a song. It is inspired by a little bit of Beyonce, a little bit of Donna Summers. So it's like a little disco dance, but very jazzy version of disco and dance track with some horns and some keys and some, heavy bass line. Boop, 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 boop. So we're going to roll out For the Health of It, which is the name of the song, next season. And I'll get it up on iTunes and all those other places that you stream your music. So, and just in case you want to just have that experience all the time and get the full version of the song, because you're only going to get a snippet for the intro.
That feels like a really long time to wait. So we'll just keep teasing people that this is coming in April.
We'll send some clips out for you all so you can start getting a little taste of the song.
Yeah. We also want to remind you that we still have our Make 1,000, Give 1,000 initiative going on with Amy Latta, who's one of our board members. For every heart that we receive, $1 will be donated to Hearts Need Art, up to $1,000. And you do not need to be a professional anything to participate in this initiative. You can involve your kids if you have children. But Richard has the graphic up here. There's our PO box where you mail your heart to. You can visit our website to get all the details and see some of the guidelines for the types of materials that you can use. We also have our Give and Garden fundraiser. That is happening through March 17th. When you purchase your plants or any of your garden items through Give and Garden, half of the proceeds from your purchase go to Hearts Need Art. So are we ready to
We're
bring
ready.
Kim
The woman who's
Hamilton?
helping- Yay!
Good morning.
Good morning, Kim. We did not have our clapping sound effect, but that's okay. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
If you could tell people what you do for Hearts Need Art, what is your role in the organization?
Well, it's a little bit of everything, but yes, I am the program coordinator for the organization. So essentially, I think my main role is to work with the artists, be an advocate for our artists, musicians, offer support, be there when I need that or when they need me. I schedule them into the hospitals. So I'm the liaison between our hospital staff and our artists. And just to make sure they're where they are, when they need to be there, make sure they have all the supplies, anything else they may need. And really, I just kind of get to hang out with them at the hospitals, which is amazing. I get to listen to live music and I get to, watch art being made on a daily basis, which is really great for my mental health. So,
and you get to meet people at storage facilities at 9 a.m. and give them paintbrushes.
Absolutely. Any day of the week. It's fantastic. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help.
And you started with us, was it back in October, right?
It was, yeah, the very beginning of October, correct.
So I'm always fascinated by how people come upon Hearts Need Art. How did that happen?
So I honestly don't remember. So I was looking for a job, specifically, ideally in the art field, because that's my background. I honestly don't remember if I was on Indeed and found the listing. My husband had also just kind of randomly been looking, just trying to help me. He knew I was looking for something new. So I don't remember if he sent me the link or if I came across it myself. But either way, I think we've all been in a situation where you're looking for a job or something and you read all the descriptions, you read every point. And at some point you come across something that you're like, oh, that really doesn't fit my background, or this is not going to be a good fit. And this job posting, I swear to goodness, every line that I read just got better and better. I was like, I can do this. I have experience in this. Yes, this will fit my lifestyle so well. So I applied. And here I am.
Especially the storage facility part of the job description. I'm sure that was on there.
Yes, it was.
Sorry, Andrea, did you have a question?
I just want to say, what do you think are a couple of things that have changed about your perspective since I might be jumping the gun. You might be having this question for later.
There you go. Let's do it.
But something you feel like it's changed about your perspective regarding art since you've started working for Hearts Need Art.
Sure. So again, I have a huge background in art. Personally, I'm just a huge art lover. I don't consider myself an artist per se, even though I have an appreciation for it. I've always worked in the arts. I did not really know that arts and healthcare was such a specific niche of the art world. That was what interested me so much in the position, because it was a part of the art world that I had never obviously delved into. I really didn't know it existed so specifically. But just seeing the impact of maybe something that we would consider so small, like I said, someone going in and just painting with a patient for 30 minutes, playing 2 or 3 songs, just again, things that we would consider so small in our daily lives, but seeing the impact that it has on patients, healthcare workers, family members, has been huge. It's changed me, and it's changed my whole perspective of arts and healthcare hugely, because I get to witness this firsthand on a daily basis. And it's so beautiful. It's so great. I love what I do.
Can you give us has there been a recent interaction that stands out to you? Can you think of a specific story that?
Yes. Am I allowed to say actual locations? that we're working at?
Oh, good question. Can we get a response from the production team?
Okay.
Maybe we'll keep it general. We'll keep it general.
So we were at a location with Hannah, one of our artists, obviously our more seasoned artist. She's been here for, a few years. Anyhow, she's been doing these art classes, 2-hour sessions where it started. I think we've probably been doing this one for, 3-4 months. And she would always start with, maybe one patient, maybe two, if she was lucky. The word got out and her class has grown, to 6, 7, sometimes like a dozen patients. So I made a point to be there, the past month or so just to really help out. And there's this one gentleman who I met the very first time we were there. And he was just one of those, likes to joke around, likes to like make everyone feel comfortable. Anyhow, so I've met him probably like 3, 4, 5 times at this point. And the last time we were there I think we were doing it was like the day 3 of self-portraits that she was like putting on for this class. He was really not talking to anybody in particular, just kind of like talking out loud. But everyone was like commiserating with him, like how great this class has been for them. And he was saying specifically that before this hospital location started this like art therapy program, he would literally just sit at his house, sometimes in the dark, and really didn't do much of anything, just like didn't have any sort of inspiration throughout his day. And he said his daughters were the ones that actually like pushed him, like, Dad, you have to get out. You have to like, start living again, essentially. So thankfully that hospital was putting on this therapy program. He got started doing the art classes. And again, he'd only been doing this for, 4 weeks, maybe. But he said since he's been doing that, he's been inspired to do other things that he's never done in his entire life. Like, and it cracked me up because he was so proud of what he'd done. He was so passionate about it. He was like, I'm an artist now. Like, look at what I did. I just drew a picture of myself, with obviously y'all's help. And he said that he had signed up for line dancing classes twice a week. And he went and bought himself like these brand new cowboy boots, bought himself a cowboy hat, like pressed his jeans. And now since he had like, kind of ventured out like to start art, it just made him want to do other things. And it was so sweet and so sincere, because you could see like in his eyes, he was like, a month ago, I was literally like a shell of a person, just kind of like, really doing nothing. And I feel like the artwork, brought him out of that shell and then inspired him to go on and do other things. And now he's a line dancer, which is amazing.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was so cute. It was so sweet.
I remember I just want to say this real quick. I went to an Air Force base. I went to a local Air Force base, Fort Sam, and there was a guy that was in a coordinator position, and I went in to teach workshops to young adults. He decided to write a poem one day, sat down and write a poem with us, and I guess he used to write when he was younger. I came back a year later. This man had 99 poems in a laminated binder. And he was like, and he had been going around the office. His coworkers were very annoyed with him. And we're like, when I came there, they were like, he's been writing poems. But for him, it had opened up his world, and he was writing love poems to his wife, and his eyes were all glittery and shiny, and he was talking about his love for his wife and his poems for her. And I was just so excited for him and thankful that I didn't work in that office, but excited for him. He always made me listen to his, anytime I would show up to teach, he would make me sit and listen to more of his poetry. But yeah, it does. It really does. Once you start seeing yourself differently due to the arts or trying something new outside of your comfort zone, then it's like, well, then what else can I do? Well, how can I become a superhero? You just got to try it.
Yeah, that seemed to be essentially his outlook moving forward. He was just like, yes, like what else? Like what's next? What else can I check off my list? And it was great. It was I could sit there and listen to him all day long. It was very inspiring.
So I know we're at several different healthcare communities. Do you feel like the way artists and musicians and writers approach patients is like, how is that different between facilities? Like, do you find that do group classes seem easier, or does it just depend on how the patient's feeling that day, or I guess for listeners who aren't familiar with kind of how we make an entry into someone's space in a healthcare community, can you kind of describe what that's like?
Sure. I think, yes, first and foremost, it does really depend on how the patients are feeling. Because, I think every single one of our artists or musicians have gone through a day where they go room to room, just kind of introducing themselves. Here's what we're doing. This is what we can offer. And, they just get a full day of no's because either people are tired, they don't feel well, they're in therapy. So yes, I think it's, again, first and foremost, how the patients are feeling. We do have one location that we kind of set up a semi-group session. We just kind of go into the therapy room and set up art supplies. And the patients, as they're finishing up with their physical therapy, can use part of their hours towards what we're doing. So their PTs will kind of like bring them over. And it is kind of nice to witness people in a group setting, because it literally just takes the one. Like they'll walk by, they'll kind of like look over what we're doing, show a little interest. And again, 99% of the time, if it's artwork, the response is, well, I'm not an artist, or I don't know how to draw, or I can't paint. And, we try to be encouraging, but, if they walk away, if they see somebody else doing it though, especially like someone that they know, they're familiar with, or like, hey, that's my buddy. They see what they're doing and, how much fun they're having. Then that's kind of when the people start to trickle back over. And then, hopefully before we know it, we have 4 or 5 patients at once, participating together, and they kind of feed off each other's energy, which is really nice.
I like that idea of feeding off of energy, the infectiousness of doing the art. So do you ever sit and create art with everyone, or you just kind of observe what everyone's doing?
No, I do sometimes. Again, I do not consider myself an artist, but I have a creative mind, and, everyone likes to pick up a paintbrush and just kind of like mess around. So yes, especially maybe when it's a little bit slower, because I don't ever want to take away from what the patients are doing and then like our artists working with them. But yeah, sometimes I'll just like pick up a marker or pick up a paintbrush and, kind of like see what everyone else is doing. If there's like a theme of the day or something. And yes, I will participate. It's fun. Why not?
I'll be starting next month in March. I'm going to start going into facilities. I think I'm starting at Methodist, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you, Kim, for your help. I get to tell you like virtually, helping me for my onboarding process. And I look forward to the creative writing pieces I can create with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're looking forward to having you.
We are going to take a quick break. And on that break, we're going to hear from Big Infinite, who was a guest on our show a couple weeks ago. This is Won't Let Go by Big Infinite.
If you are listening and not watching, that it was Won't Let Go by Big Infinite. The lead vocalist in that group is Jordan Lally, and we encourage you to go back and watch his episode if you didn't see it, because that man and his group Big Infinite are doing really, really impactful things in communities, going into schools and organizations and teaching them about coping and suicide prevention. So we encourage you to check out that episode. And we got some more exciting stuff to talk about, don't we, Catherine?
Yes. So, Kim, if you could share, we have these sometimes one-on-one or small group interactions with patients and caregivers, but then we also do some things where we're more visible, like we're out in actual common areas, whether it's corridor concerts or if you could talk about the mural that Jordan, our artist in residence, recently created. I know we have a picture we can show while you're sharing about that.
Absolutely. So this has been the biggest hit of anything that we've done while at least I've been here at the organization. So this is at one of our rehab facilities. It's right in the entryway. So essentially across from that is like a small waiting area and the reception desk. And then as people pass that, they kind of go down to the elevator. So essentially any person that enters the facility gets to pass this mural right now.
Could you describe it? Sorry, could you describe it to people?
Oh yes, of course. So it's essentially a very large, I would say that's maybe like an 8-foot tall tree that Jordan painted. It's got these branches kind of going out in all directions, and throughout the branches, she had painted different color hearts. Her whole goal was to kind of go with those. What is the candy? The little heart candies with like the words of affirmation on them,
like sweet tarts.
Yes, that was her goal. So that's why she kind of painted all these hearts in these very like pastel colors. And then on the furthest end of the painting, she actually did her own words of affirmation, like I am strong, I am loved, I am brave. Things that would hopefully people could read, pass by every day, and then just kind of offer a little encouragement in their life. Mm-hmm. So the location wanted us to do this for the month of February, which obviously is Heart Month. So Jordan kind of, had this planned. I think she had done one similar somewhere else in the past. But we essentially just set up on her, regularly scheduled shift one day, brought out all the different supplies, and she just kind of got started. I was there. Our medical student intern was there as well, just to kind of help, again, with whatever she needed, different paints, whatnot. And then over the course of, I think it probably took her about 3 hours total, but over the course of 3 hours, she painted this beautiful mural. And, people would kind of come in at the beginning and like see that something was happening. So they would kind of walk slowly past and, like they were interested. And several people would come back downstairs. They're like, oh, we saw you guys doing something. We wanted to come see how it was, how it was going. So at some point she's kind of had a little crowd, just kind of, standing off to the side, like
spectators.
Yes. They didn't want to interrupt, but they were just interested in like what she was doing. We got, even if that one day, that, 1 3-hour period of her painting this, we got so much great feedback. Like, especially once it was like all coming together and they realized what it was. Just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, what are you guys doing this for? So that gave us, it opened up the doors of communication that we kind of like talk to them about who we were, what we were doing. That it's a small facility, so most of the staff already knows us. But they were, very excited to see us doing something a little bit different than what we normally do. And I've probably been back to that facility since that mural has been completed a dozen times. And I'm not exaggerating. Literally every day when I walk in, the receptionist every time still makes some kind of comment. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to look at this all day long. Like, I'm just used to looking, it's the window between like her area and the cafeteria. So there's nothing exciting on the other side of those windows. And she was like, this is so amazing.
There's food, but if the food isn't good, then
there is food, which is enticing.
Oh, it's chicken and dumplings again.
But she's just, really every single time she just makes some comment of how nice it is just to like be able to see this beautiful mural. Yeah, it's great. Every time I go back there, someone else makes a comment. Just like, oh, you guys are the ones that painted the mural downstairs. We love it. So
the fact that she did that in 3 hours.
3 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
I know. I was shocked.
Huge.
It is huge. We encourage you to, if you're listening, go actually look at the picture. It's
really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. How long will that be up there?
I think just through the end of February.
Okay.
And then whether they want us to do something else, maybe we
I
can
bet you
replace
they
it.
will. I bet
They've,
you will.
I was talking to like one of the directors of the physical therapist, and she was saying, she was saying it in jest, but I was like, this is actually something we should do. She's like, you could literally do something for every either holiday or season, like do something for the 4th of July, do something for Fiesta. So I kind of have a feeling this is something that will keep going. And whether we have something up there all the time or like have breaks of where we like, take it down and do something else. I think we kind of found our niche there because everyone loves it.
Yeah, it
Like
just
a shamrock tree.
Yeah, shamrock tree. With a
Absolutely.
pot of gold somewhere.
Yes. That would be so cute. A little leprechaun down there with a pot of gold.
It just transforms the space. And I think whether that's on a like macro scale, like that mural where it's in a common area and everyone is experiencing it in some way, whether it was watching it being made or seeing it after the fact, or on a micro level, like transforming that hospital room space from being quiet, lonely, whatever it is. When you bring in a musician, it's like suddenly, I mean, it just shifts. It shifts everything. There was also some artwork too that I think we have pictures of that as well that Jordan had done with some patients, and it's kind of it seems like inspired by that mural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of this artwork. I was there when a few of these were painted by some patients, and the PTs would also join us when they had a break, when they weren't busy. But yeah, this was the same thing. It was essentially the Heart Month initiative, and the hospital had asked us, if whatever artwork you guys do with the patients this month, try to see if they're interested in painting hearts. And so we did, and some of them, again, had no idea what they were doing. They're like, well, I don't even know how to draw a heart, but that's not what it's about. It's about the process of doing it and just, sitting down and enjoying those moments. But I think it was a hit. We got many, many hearts painted in the month of February.
Yeah, it's an idea about radiating love, and I feel like love is going to change the vibration. Love is going to change the energy and shift it. And color too. Color has such a strong effect on people, and I think those vibrant colors, those pastels, just bring in just so much life.
Agreed.
Can you also talk about the other big event we had in February was the AYA conference? We have some pictures to share from that, but tell us what that was and how our team was involved.
Sure. Yeah. So it was through, again, one of our hospitals, the AYA conference. They had maybe about 150 participants. And again, just different sessions throughout the weekend. I think it was held on like a Friday, Saturday. So we had a session on Friday, and they just wanted us to provide some art form that went along with the mental health aspect of the art world. So our artists put together, it was Hannah and Jordan, they put together this session. I forget the exact title of what they called it, but it was essentially like painting the spirals. And every color you picked to go into the spiral was something that they essentially had everyone make a list before of things they're grateful for, whether they're people, things in their life that just like make an impact on them. And then as you can see, everyone picked different colors to go into their spiral. And again, those colors represent something on that list, something that's important to these people. And the whole goal is to not just like put color on the paper, but if you pick red for your family, as you're putting the red into the spiral, to really think on that and to kind of like meditate, keep that forefront in your mind. So yeah, we had we had maybe 20 to 30 participants.
Wow.
And it was great. Our artists did such a great job explaining it, really getting people involved. And we had some really good feedback. I kind of went through when they were a little over halfway done, just, kind of taking pictures over people's shoulders of what they've been doing. And I was shocked. And these people were really, they were really into it. They were like really feeling it, and they would sit there and talk about it with like whoever's at their table. And it was very quick, because I think they were all kind of like pressed for time. So at first, I think we were all a little like stressed out, like, oh, it's running late, or we're not going to have enough time to really get started. But once they got into it, everyone just kind of picked up on it really quickly. And it wound up being this like really kind of quick, positive, super fun part of everyone's day. And everyone seemed really excited. And even at the very end, some people actually stood up and, talked about like the colors they had chosen, why they chose them, and like what these certain aspects of their life mean to them. So it was really nice to hear feedback, from some of the participants.
And Jeff and Jaime were there as well, right? Did they do like dueling guitars? I have this vision or hope that
as fun as that would have been, no. So Jaime came, he was there at the art session with us, and he was just kind of playing some like really nice, beautiful background music as people walked in, got seated. And then, at some points during the art session, there's kind of that meditative moment of, all right, take time and just, think about the colors you've chosen. And as people are drawing and like putting color on their paper, Jaime would just kind of play in the background. Jeff actually did something different that evening. They actually had a dinner for the participants, and he played at the dinner. And we already got some feedback from that, saying how amazing he was and how he added, like anyone that listens to Jeff play, like you can't not smile and like kind of, jam along.
This is true.
So yeah, really good feedback from that.
It's magic. Yeah, he gives us some good magic, and we've actually played some of his songs going into break. And right now we're about to take a quick break, but we're going to listen to one of my songs, and it's entitled "Be Brave."
Anxiety pressing down on me, feeling so heavy I can hardly breathe. See my destiny right in front of me. Silence the doubt, yeah, I gotta believe that cause I know it's my time. Even when my try to tear me down, but I gotta keep moving on, because gotta step it up, I'm going, throwing fear away, I'm growing, not just enough, more than enough, this melanin, I'm glowing, gotta step it up, gotta shape up, have faith in love, making dreams reality, so I gotta be brave. Pace my heart, steady feet, find my beat, moving, life's so fast, gotta trust the path, when I'm on the road, God's choosing.
Yay! So I'm glad that that's a clip that you chose. That's a nice clip of the song. Really encouragement that I wanted to give people. I wrote that song during the pandemic, and because it was a season where everybody was just scared of everything, and so I wanted to send that message to let people know to be brave. And that was also produced by Eddie Versatile Keys from Keys to the Soul Production. So I'm just gonna keep going back to him for the hits. All right. So we've got some other things that we want to talk about right now.
Yeah, we'll keep you for just a few more minutes, Kim, and then we'll let you be on your way.
Sure.
But Vocab mentioned that she's going to be going into, I think, Northeast starting next month, and that's thanks to a grant from Impact SA. That's a huge, amazing opportunity for us, and because we're expanding and growing our reach. We have some needs for volunteers. You want to speak a little about that?
Yes, we do. We actually just brought on one volunteer, but we'll always be looking for more. We always need help, not necessarily in the physical making artwork or making music. Like this is a position that you don't have to have any sort of like art inclination in your life. We just, we have a lot going on that we need help with. Specifically, we are actually trying to set up pre and post surveys with our patients. We already do this in one of our hospital locations. The hospital facilitates it, but they've gotten such amazing feedback, and they actually see a higher rate of participation if someone kind of goes in and explains again what we're doing there. what we're offering that day, whether it's music or artwork. And then again, kind of just do a really quick, a half a dozen questions of how they're feeling, what they're feeling right there, if it's a pain level. And then again, we'll do the exact same thing. We'll do a post survey, once our contractor's gone in to spend time with them. And we're getting, again, really good feedback. This is kind of what our medical student intern is helping with right now. And I think we're already seeing the positive impact of having that position. So yeah, that's just one example of how we can have volunteers on board with us to help at different locations. Again, like you said, we're growing quickly right now. And it would just be really helpful to have some additional hands on deck, just to help out, even if it's something as simple as, we have an artist in a room with a patient and they need some more supplies. Right. It'd be really nice to have somebody on hand just to kind of help with supplies and like different needs, that our contractors face on site.
Yeah. Also, this can be like, if you feel like you're skilled at helping with administrative work or fundraising or outreach, we're really looking for a multitude of, of things, even production help with this show, with Arts for the Health of It. We would love to have you submit your application. You can do that by going to our website, heartsneedart.org, and there's a tab on there called Get Involved, and you'll see a link to the volunteer application. But yes, for all the people that say, I'm not creative, I can't do that, there's so many ways you can still help Hearts Need Art. So we encourage you to check that out.
Mm-hmm. Join us, please.
Join us, please.
It'll be fun, I promise.
All right. What do we have to look forward to in March, Kim? Is there anything special coming up that you want to let our listeners know about?
Specifically, again, getting involved in Northeast is huge. That's like the one big project we have, starting in March, is the addition of a new hospital. I will tell you, as much as all of our locations love us and everyone vocalizes this, Northeast is so excited to have us on site. They say so literally every time I talk to anybody. It's the reiteration of how excited they are that we're coming there. They're already familiar with Jeff, but he's actually going to be the musician at the hospital now, and they are just thrilled that he'll be back. I think they have a little bit of increased turnover there, so they're really looking for just anything that you can like come in and just be a positive light for their healthcare workers and for their patients. So that's a huge thing coming up in March. They also have a few events coming up. I think their first one is in May, but they have like very specific events happening throughout their year that they really want us to focus on. It was like, National Healthcare Workers Week. And they want us to come in and just make their nursing staff and their doctors feel like super pampered, and just really spoil them for a few weeks. So that's what we're gonna do.
And a shamrock mural, please.
Yeah, we should make that happen somewhere. Absolutely.
That's my request.
The wee little leprechaun.
Noted. I'll put it on my to-do list.
Our CEO, Richard Wilmore, is also speaking at Belmont University in Nashville. That's on March 3rd. And that's, I believe, their first Arts and Health Summit. So that's really exciting. He's planning to document his time on that trip. So we'll be sure to push that out so everyone can see updates on that.
Exciting.
Nice. Yeah.
Media takeover to talk about.
Yes, Kim, social media takeover. This is in the works. So we've gathered some content for that, and we'll be pushing that out as well over the coming weeks. Yeah, just showing like some of your day-to-day experience. Do you want to share a little bit about like what that was like, about having to like pause and think maybe, before going in and then after being at a facility?
It was completely out of my comfort zone because I am, on my day-to-day, I'm just kind of like, all right, what needs to happen next? What's next on my to-do list? Where do I need to be? What location am I at? who am I seeing today? I'm not normally like the person to stop and like reflect on things in the moment. That's more like an end of day thing. So it actually was, as much as it was different for me on how I normally spend my days, it actually was kind of nice. It was like, all right, Kim, take a minute, reflect, what did you just experience? And it kind of made me actually appreciate, the visit that I had in the hospital. And sometimes just to take a moment, and whether it's like on paper or just verbally express, the things that you're feeling right then, it kind of makes it more forefront in your mind. So that was a very unexpected positive part of, having or needing to like, kind of reflect on, the time in the hospital. So I actually look forward to doing it more, because there's a ton of behind the scenes. It's not all super fun. It's not all,
Please share. Please document.
I will. It's not as, obviously not all as exciting of like being in the hospitals. There's of course, like any other job, administrative, lots of storage, inventory and organization and whatnot, but it's all very necessary to keep this ball rolling. So I'm happy to do it.
Mm-hmm. We'll look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Vocab. Anything else?
I'm interested to see, is there anything that any hopes or dreams that you have for Hearts Need Art, like some goals that you would like to see us accomplish that we could set our hearts towards?
Absolutely. Again, when I started, it's not been that long, but when I started, I felt like, we were like this big, and now I feel like we've already grown and we're just like continuing to grow. So I would actually love, as much as I love being involved in every aspect in all of our artists and musicians' day-to-day lives right now, I would actually love to see it grow to where there's maybe 2 of my position or 3 of my position, because, I get to a point where it might just be physically too much to manage that many people and that much going on in any given day or week. So it would be really great just to see this organization continue to grow and spread throughout the community where, where I physically can't take care of it all. So it'd be nice just to have that need. And then, we all just kind of go out and see all the patients and have all the fun with artwork.
Spread the love. Yeah,
that's exactly. That's essentially what we do every day. So it would be nice just to see that continue to grow.
Yeah. We can't clone Kim yet, so since we can't do that, AI has not reached the point where we can clone Kim.
If we could, I would consider it.
It's a good point, though, because I think that it's not as simple as people just show up at the hospital and do their thing and they go. There's a lot of planning and coordinating. There's documentation. There's the hospital requirement. Like each place has its own requirements before our team can even go into the facility. So it's a really good point that as we grow, there will be that need for more of you. So you can clone you.
Exactly. That would be a good problem to have. So we'll see.
Well, we just want to thank you, Kim, for spending time with us today. And it won't be the last time. I know we'll have you on again and check in. And we're just looking forward to what's coming up in March. We'll be able to share that with everyone.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Thank you for coming by. You're welcome. You are welcome to come by at the end of any month and spend some time with us and catch us up on what's going on.
I appreciate it.
For now, we are going to take one more quick break, and we're going to listen to Cherishing by Big Infinite, featuring the vocal stylings of one Jordan Lally.
In a way, we'll be gone. I felt that truth in every lie. And find it more in every conscious breath. I say we taste the day. till nothing's left. Oh, your eyes, now I see you got nothing but love for me. So I'll be cherishing. I can say I'm sorry, but the words fall short.
That was Cherishing by Big Infinite. Jordan Lally is the lead singer for that group. It was lovely having him on the show a couple weeks ago. Before we wrap up for the day, Vocab, I know you have some wonderful things coming up or ongoing or that have just started and will be a regular thing. Do you want to share about a couple of those?
Absolutely. I want to start by talking about the Zonta Club. And next month, the first Saturday of the month, there's going to be this luncheon up in Austin, Texas. So if anybody listens and there's up that way, or you want to make that little trek up the road, there's going to be an International Women's Day panel with a luncheon. And there's some really great speakers that are going to be there. Cindy Lowe, and she's an inspirational business owner, and Judge Sylvia Holmes. She is from Travis County Precinct 3. She's a justice of the peace also. And then Donna Dodgden, she's the mayor of Seguin. And then also me, Andrea Vocab Sanderson, will be the women speakers. And you can still get tickets for that event and come and join us and have some tea and some breads, because you know that whenever you walk into those hotel luncheons, there's always a glass of tea, a glass of water, the little pellets of butter, and the basket of bread already sitting on the table when you get there. So you're like, I'm just gonna start buttering this bread. You're ready for this luncheon. It's going down. Me and the ladies. But it's a co-ed luncheon, so it could be men and women. You're welcome to come in and sit on this panel. The Zonta Club is really important because they are the people that are invested in stopping human trafficking, which knowing that here in Texas, we're so close to the border, a lot of human beings, children, women, small children are being sold into slavery, essentially.
Right.
And we've got to stop that. We've got to do everything in our power to get these people back to their families, to make sure they're not being abducted, stolen, or just put in situations where they feel like helpless. And it's a scary world, but we can make the difference, bringing awareness, being vigilant in our communities and things of that nature. So those women and myself, we're going to come together and we're going to talk about that. So you can go to the Zonta website and get more information on that. And also the other thing that I am venturing into, I'm going back to co-hosting open mic poetry spot.
Yay.
I'm so excited. So for like 13 years, I co-hosted a poetry spot called Second Verse. We were an award-winning poetry spot. We won Best Open Mic in the Nation 2 years in a row. And so people from all over the nation knew about Second Verse. And now we're starting a poetry spot called The Remix. And The Remix is going to be at Upstage Comedy Club. We are going to start on March 10th, and we're going to be the second Friday of every month. So once a month. Doors open at 9. Their cover is $15, but you're going to get an amazing show. So it's going to be poets. It's going to be comedians. We may have some singer-songwriters come through the spot. You never know. We may have a DJ. You can buy drinks at the bar. There's food. It'll be hosted by myself and Glow Miles. Glow was recently married. She was Armor. Now she is Glow Miles. So come check us out at The Remix. It's going to be wonderful. Bring your poetry.
Many moons ago, it feels like a lifetime ago, I did an open mic night. This is when I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, playing guitar. And looking back, I'm like, that was totally crazy that I even did that. But what would you say to people who they're like, oh, I want to do that, but maybe they're feeling apprehensive or like they're not sure what to expect? What would you say to those people?
It's similar to what Kim was talking about when she was here on air with us, in the fact that when you step outside of your comfort zone, when you try something new, it really does open up your heart and your mind to the possibilities of other things you can do. One of the things that I love about getting on stage and performing is in the times that I feel like an awkward duck or just a socially awkward individual, after I come off stage from performing, people approach me and I don't have to begin the conversations. I don't have to make myself quote unquote social because I put myself out there, and then it attracts the energy of other people who want to talk to me about what I spoke about on stage, or they want to do this, or they just admire the work. They come and they talk to you, and it is such a instant gratification situation. Like there's certain things that we do in life where we don't see the return on it until a month later, a year later. But when you get on stage and you put yourself out there, the return is very, very quick. Because as soon as you finish, even as you're performing, you're getting responses from people in the audience. And when you come off stage, there's nothing that can replace that. I've had teary-eyed individuals coming to me after I've gotten off stage, shaking, some of them sometimes telling me, oh my God, what you said, what, I felt that, or I've experienced something like that. And I just want to say thank you. Whatever they're saying, I've had so many moments where people have come to me in tears talking to me about something I said. And, it really makes it worth it to me to say that whatever life experiences that I had that brought me to the point to write those pieces, it was needed for someone to hear that so they can make that point of connection, because we are not alone. And that's the one thing I think that Hearts Need Art is really instilling in community, is that you are not alone. Like if you're sitting in your room, with tubes or waiting for a treatment or waiting to heal, waiting for surgery, post-surgery, you're not alone. There are other people who care about you, that are in community, that want to either sit with you or have art time with you, or just that they care. And we're sending prayers, and we're sending hearts, and we're sending individuals even into facilities. So that was a really long answer to your question.
It's a beautiful answer. Well, because it validates, like by you sharing, whether it's you, anybody sharing their story, their poem, their song, their art. I think it's validating to you, but also you're almost like in a way giving others permission, like to express themselves as well. And to open up like that circuitry in our brain to consider the possibility that, I might have something to say as well. So I hope there's a good turnout for the remix. That sounds really fun.
Yeah. What I didn't know is that you play guitar. So I'm now learning. I was today years old. We've been podcasting for a couple months now. I'm like, what? How many instruments do you play, Catherine?
I think 4 at this point.
But a multi-instrumentalist, y'all.
Not well, like none of them well. And
Wait,
Richard knows that we have a ukulele, and when Michael's not doing what he's supposed to, I'll like walk around, narrate, sing what he should be doing, and it usually makes us laugh, and it helps. It works.
Michael should be doing his own work, but instead he's playing Pokemon.
Pretty accurate. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I recently met Michael Particini, and I tell you, that little bright-eyed child gave me life. He had her son make me a video, because I sent the podcast song to Catherine so she could check it out, for the next season. And she had her son listening to it. And while he was still in the car, he sent me a little video, and it was so cute. He was like, I don't even deserve it. I can't even take it. I was like, what? You don't deserve it. You deserve the world, child. I will come to your house with teddy bears and lots of candy. And leave it there. You can be hyper and I'll leave.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's what I want to do sometimes. I want to take candy to parents' house and like, here, give this to your child. And
then just leave. That is unfair. But we were sitting on a curb in a parking lot when we listened to that to the song. And we were both just like giddy listening, because it was so like, we're just like, you can't help but move when you're listening to that song. So I'm really excited to share that with y'all, but we're just going to talk about it for the next month until we release
Somebody's sitting at home salty right now. Well, I'll play the song.
Right.
What's the song? Good things come to those who wait. That's all I'll say. Because I had to wait to record it, because the first time I tried to record it, I was under the weather and some stuff came up and I couldn't get to the studio, but I'm so happy that I waited. And the day that I went in there, still my throat was a little icky poo because allergies things are real. I had gone to ER and gotten some medication and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I got to get in the studio, got to get this song done. And I was worried because the girl that I wanted to come, my friend Yvette, I wanted her to come and sing background vocals on the song. She couldn't make it that day because she had just went out of town to Houston and she was like recovering from her trip. And so I was like, all right, I got to go in there and I got to do all these vocal parts myself. I hadn't even written the poem that's the second verse. I sat there and wrote that poem in the studio. So I need you to know that the creativity turned on like out of nowhere somewhere. It was a God thing. You know, I was able to just tap in and be able to get the song done. But enough of that. We need to reiterate to people that we've got some fun stuff happening and they need to turn in these hearts.
Yes, please. Here's your rapid fire reminders. Make 1,000, Give 1,000 is still going on. You can make your heart from pretty much anything. It just can't be pointy or sharp. All ages, all abilities are welcome to participate in this. And every heart we receive, $1 will be donated to Hearts Need Art. You can go to our website, heartsneedart.org, to find information about where to mail it. We also have Give and Garden. Hurry up and get your garden things before the spring. That's all we need. We just need a song for that. That link is also on our website. It will take you to the Give and Garden site and you can look at their selection of plants, bulbs, seeds. Half of your proceeds from your purchase will go to Hearts Need Art. We want to thank the Nancy Smith Hurd Foundation and Jane Phipps for supporting this podcast. This show, really, it's a show. And until next time, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends.
We are here doing this podcast and we want to share art with you and all kinds of cool practices. Because not only do we have people come on the show, we practice art live on this show. So by the time it's over with, you're going to have some artwork or you're going to have done a practice that's going to help your health and wellness.
You're going to do the new thing that you didn't think you could do. So.
Oh my God, you're so great at your life. Look at you. You're brave, you're kind, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're intelligent. You're doing it creatively.
On that note, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Arts for the Health of It. This episode is produced by Hearts Need Art, creative support for patients and caregivers. You can support the show and help others learn about the healing power of the arts by visiting heartsneedart.org. The views expressed on this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of Hearts Need Art, their staff, board members, or other affiliates. All content is created for informational purposes only. This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice or to diagnose and treat any health condition. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health professional with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you've heard